Hey everybody, welcome back to, well, it's episode 4, isn't it now, of Northernlion Plays Gods Will Be Watching. If you missed the preamble to this new puzzle that we're going to have to be dealing with, I encourage you to watch the end of the last episode. I mean, you should watch the last episode in general. We went through one of the hardest mission we've had so far, of the two of them. This one promises to be a little bit more difficult. Now, I haven't actually played this mission myself. I've seen Kate play it. She did fine, but it took a couple of tries. Now, what are the things we've got going on here? Well, everyone is infected with the Medusa virus. That's bad. The Medusa virus can kill us. It causes paralysis and, convulsions and stuff like that. We have 28 hours to find a cure. To find a cure, we're going to experiment with a bunch of different, basically, like, combinations. And we're going to try to make vaccines. We're going to inject them into humans and see if they work, and we can maybe cure people. We also have a limited battery life, but we can use Brandon here to charge the defibrillator or connect power lines in order to keep our battery charged here. So, what I'm thinking is that we're going to open this up. Can we do anything with the dog? Dig, inject, analyze, blood, rest. Oh, that's the other thing. We have like 3,000 kilos. I think it actually was 3,000 kilos of stone that we have to dig out of here. And we should probably get to digging it out as soon as possible. So let's have our dog dig. Or maybe it's best to get the cure first. Okay, let's have our doctor use computer, research antidote. Alright, initializing compound initialization sequence, I just made that up. We're gonna go with a risky vaccine, which could cause, a fatality, but it also gives us the best chance of success. Alright, compound number 1, we're gonna start with alpha, beta, delta. Alright, setting new project, research nature risky, risk of death 40%, compound setting alpha, beta, delta. So, we'll see if this actually works here. If this is the correct sequence and the correct, types of antibodies, this will actually be our cure. It probably isn't, though, based on the number of possible permutations. So, let's have Marvin start digging. Take your time, Marvin, no big deal. We'll have Jack start digging. And we haven't lost time yet, which I don't totally understand yet, but we'll see that as time goes on. Maybe we could talk to the doctor quickly? As terrible as our situation here is, I'm a little excited for the scientific opportunities we might uncover. That didn't take up any time either. I guess maybe everybody gets one action per turn or something? Like, what about you? Maybe I could ask you about something. Yes, Sergeant, I'll ask you about team performance. Any advice on how to handle the team's performance? Just don't push them too hard. Remember, you can check everybody's current performance on Brandon's empathy scanners. Also, it would be a good idea to plan resting periods along with antidote testing. The antidote leaves you unconscious anyway, so alright, got it. Maybe we could research a second antidote right now as well. Use computer, research antidotes. Oh, and he's just going to help with the research. Okay, that makes sense. That'll speed it up probably. Brandon, why don't you connect the power lines? There we go, so that should keep the battery charged. And Donald, you can dig for now. We'll have 3 of you digging at once here. Alright. And what about me? I guess I'm gonna rest so that I can dig later. When everybody has a task, use the clock on the top right corner to start a work session. Clock in the top right corner to start a work session. So we'll click it. Boom. Work for 30 minutes. Okay, I understand the structure now. Alright, what has happened now that the half hour has been complete? People are probably getting a little bit more tired. The antidote is going fine. Okay, so Burden, you should start digging now. Who are we going to inject our virus into? Or, yeah, we're going to inject the antidote or the virus in to see if it works. We're going to inject it into, probably Jack first. I need Brandon to fix, I need Donald to fix Brandon if he goes out here. We need him to charge the defibrillator. We need both of our doctors, I think, and I don't want to test it on the dog just in case, it doesn't, maybe it works on the dog, but it doesn't work on humans. So my assumption is we're going to start with Jack, who is just kind of like, I don't know, manual labor for us right now. So let's have Brandon check on Donald's. Yeah, okay, let's look at debris and performance. Debris, 3,600 kilos left. Team performance, who's not in a good place? Everybody's in a pretty good place. Honestly, I think we can maybe just take a turn to kind of advance the clock here. Work for 30 minutes. Everyone seems to be doing relatively fine. Anybody getting visibly beat up? Doesn't look like it. Our antidote's going to be done pretty soon. All right, Brandon. Request information. Okay, debris and performance. So we took away around 100 kilos. Brandon's getting a little bit beat up. Everybody else looks pretty good, though. Maybe Brandon should stop charging for a minute and just rest, because our battery's charged up pretty nicely. And let's request some more information just in case. Dig power. Okay, so... Oh, I guess it's like proportional. It's like a 1-to-1 ratio of body mass to rocks moved in a half hour. That's convenient. Dr. Zenace, I don't think he can stop working. So, or like, I don't think he can dig. So this is good. This is the digging's going fine. Let's request some more information. What about body mass? Sergeant Burden unknown. I don't know how I got out of that one, but anyway, I think we can just advance time a little bit more. Work for 30 minutes, and we should have an antidote. It's gonna be ready next turn. Okay. Research complete. Oh, it's ready right now. Research complete. Okay. So who's gonna rest? Somebody needs to rest. We'll take Jack. All right, dig group. Jack, you are going to rest. And don't get too comfortable, because I am going to engage in probably the most risky human testing in human history on you right now. So we're going to inject you with antidote ABD. It's ABD, a big deal. And then we're going to see how time goes for you here. All right. You okay there, Jack? Ah, he's unconscious. Diagnosis. Looks like he's doing fine. Should wake up in about 2 hours. Okay, let's talk to Sarah here. I didn't join the ECUK for this kind of stress. This is your fault, Burden. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with that. What about Dr. Zenace? We'll ask him. What about the? Let's ask him about the antidote risk or research steps. Tell me again, what's the procedure for creating a cure? Step 1, produce an antidote. Done. Step 2, inject it into someone. Step 3, pray. Finally, step 4, if they endure the shot, we analyze their blood and see what went right and what went wrong. Then repeat. Okay. Maybe we should have Sarah use the computer, and she can produce a sedative, and we'll have Dr. Zenace produce adrenaline. And then we can get to work on another antidote when this one doesn't work out. Alright, so our digging is going kind of fine, but let's talk to Brandon. Request information. How's everybody doing? Debris and performance. So Donald's not looking so hot right now, but Jack and Marvin are fine. Brandon's doing okay. I think we can afford to take another turn to just kind of advance time here. Maybe I'll have you connect the power lines for one more turn. All right, let's give this a try. Work for 30 minutes. We got to get the rocks cleared out and discover a cure. How are you doing down there, Jack? I'll quickly check in on you. Diagnosis. He'll wake up in about 90 minutes. Sedative and adrenaline are both coming along fine here. Let's ask about team performance. Donald's not looking so good, so I think, Donald, you should take a turn to actually rest. And maybe Brandon, I can have you stop connecting the power lines and dig instead. How much can you dig? Like if I look at body mass. Brandon, request information, dig power. Brandon is 51 kilos, so he's pretty heavy. Oh, now he knows how heavy I am for whatever reason, but sure, that's good. He's a good diggee, or digger in this case. All right, everyone's researching stuff. This is good. The sedative will allow us to induce rest better, to make the rest more restful, and the adrenaline will help us work faster when we need to. So let's advance some time. Work for 30 minutes. And our battery's charged up pretty nicely. All right. Jack's gonna wake up in about an hour. Research complete on adrenaline. Cool. Why don't we have you start research? Maybe you should just rest for a turn. I'll talk to Brandon, though, and see if your performance is okay. Dr. Zenace, request information, debris and performance. Dr. Zenace is doing pretty solidly, honestly. You know what? You're gonna... Oh, I can't even have you dig for a turn. Okay. Could use the computer maybe to... What's your inventory? 1 adrenaline, 0 sedative. I guess I'll have you rest for a turn. And I think everybody else is pretty much good to keep going. Nobody's fallen below like 60% here or anything, right? Like, let's request information. Debris and performance. Brandon's not going to be in a great place pretty soon, but what's the actual amount of kilos of rock left? Request information, debris and performance again. 3,200 kilos still left. All right, so, I mean, we're probably like roughly on pace. Can Donald... Yeah, he can repair Brandon, so I think we can work Brandon pretty hard here, actually. Let's just advance some time. Work for 30 minutes. I think it's bullshit that we can't have our doctor dig, but I can understand why maybe they would not want that. Alright, so her research is going to be complete. You feel pretty rested. That's good. Well, I mean, I guess you guys should wake up in 30 minutes. I guess you guys should get to work on something else. I should have had to work on another sedative or adrenaline. But it seems to me to make sense to actually just have them, like, rest for now as opposed to creating a new antidote, but that might be the totally wrong decision. Maybe I'll get them to work on a new antidote right away. So use computer, research antidote, and this we'll go for a risky concoction again, and this time we'll go Delta, Lambda, Omega. Alright, and we'll have Dr. Zanace use the computer to help out as well, to research the antidote. Okay. What else is happening here? Let's talk to Brandon. So far, so good, sort of, but it's really all about getting as many viruses or antidotes attempted as we can, I think. Brandon's looking okay. Jack's great, but he's got to, you know, wake up and not die first, which is important. Dig group. Brandon. Request information. Let's look at our dig group again. Sergeant Burden's doing fine. The dog's all right. Brandon's not so hot, but that's okay for now. I say we just keep them digging for another turn, and we work for another 30 minutes. Seems like we can pretty much set it and forget it a little bit here. Be relatively content. Jack's alive. That's a good thing. Hey, Jack. Let's talk to him there. You should update your resume and put specialist on fucked up situations on there. Okay, fair enough. Dr. Zanace, stop working. If no one is working on a project, we'll lose our progress. That's fine. You can abandon it, because she's still working on it. And I just want you to analyze blood. First, you need to inject... Oh, sorry, we need to click on this guy and analyze blood. So maybe we can still have him working there. I'm not sure, though. Okay. So we'll pop that in there and see what we've learned. Okay. Medusa antidote effectiveness. First compound is incorrect. Second compound reacts correctly. Third compound reacts correctly. Blood analysis complete. What does that mean? So we got, it was alpha, beta, delta, and beta and delta were right. But were they in the right situation? I think we should have her abandon research. Stop working. Yeah, abandon project. Good, it's gone. How is Jack doing, Brandon? We'll get people working here in just a second. So Brandon, request information, debris and performance. Jack is well rested. So I think we're gonna take Sergeant Burden off, and he's gonna rest. And then we're gonna have Jack go and dig. And we will need some battery charges pretty soon. But for now, 3 people working is fine. How's Donald doing? Like, can Donald still repair Brandon and dig a little while right now? Because right now he's been taking an awful long rest, if you ask me. Right, you know, if I had to choose a place to rest, I probably wouldn't do it right next to the Medusa virus, but maybe that's just me. So Donald's looking pretty good. Donald, you can dig for a while. You'll be fine. Okay, so we know that Beta and Delta are good. Let's have Sarah use the computer, and she's going to research an antidote, and it'll just be, this time, risky, and we'll do Lambda, Beta, Delta. And I'm not sure if the order has to be right or anything like that, but at least we can find out if Lambda is in there. Dr. Zanace is going to use computer to help out with researching the antidote. And everybody's working, except for Burden, who is resting. That's fine with me. Good, let's advance the clock. Work for 30 minutes. Interesting, we're working our way through this logic puzzle right now. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think we could probably just advance time again, but let's quickly take a look in with Brandon, make sure everybody's doing okay. Request information. Debris and performance. Alright, you know what? Marvin, you've earned a rest. And, there we go. And Brandon, I'm gonna use you to charge up the power lines quickly. Just so we can get a little bit more battery life. Then I'll have Donald repair you. And, what is, request information. What's Burden's rest like right now? Debris and performance. Debris and performance. Burden's at 74. What if I gave him, a sedative? I'm pretty busy right now. I need to focus on the research. So we would take a turn. Maybe we'll save the sedative until things get a little bit more dire. I think we can afford to advance, for 30 minutes here. And we're still very, very early. We're less than like a quarter of the way through the mission, but it's going pretty well so far. I would say, at least. Antidotes being worked on. Brandon, I'm going to request some information about you, basically. 64. Okay. So we're going to have Brandon rest. And we're going to have Donald repair Brandon. Because he's really our lifeblood here. He gives us so much information and also keeps our battery charged. And then we'll have Burden get back to digging. And Marvin can continue resting. And that'll do it for this turn. We should use our sedatives and adrenaline more effectively, though, for sure. I wonder if research is going to be done on the next turn. We're about to find out. This mission's actually a lot faster than I thought it would be. Even though it seems like it might be going super slowly right now. Okay, research not quite complete. Let's request some information, Brandon. Oh, that's Donald. That's Donald. I want to talk to Brandon. Maybe if I have you stop repairing. Yeah, you rest for a minute. Okay, Brandon. Request information, debris and performance. Donald's not looking so hot, so the rest seems to make sense. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's have him repair Brandon for one more turn. Then I can inject him with the sedative, and he'll be good to go, and Brandon will be in a much better place. All right. I kind of like the idea of having Dr. Zanace. Maybe even, like... Because he's going to finish this turn anyway. Or they're going to finish the antidote this turn anyway. Maybe I'll have him just use the computer to create another sedative quickly. And he should be done in 2 turns. All right, let's advance the clock a little bit here. So far, so good. We're gonna maybe figure out the 3 compounds in our antidote here. Research complete. Okay, who gets injected? It's gonna be Jack. Yeah, it is gonna be Jack. So, what's Donald's gonna rest? Yes. Jack is going to be injected with antidote LBD. Shouldn't it be BDL? Or maybe it doesn't matter the order that they're in. Alright, so Jack's gonna lay down. Mostly, I'm not choosing him for any rest reasons, just because he's like the least valuable team member, I think at least. I also feel like Donald should be injected with a sedative. And then he'll take a sleep as well. Yeah, you're gonna go lay down somewhere? Oh, that felt nice. So does that automatically make him more rested? Let's request information here about debris and performance. He was in the 60s before, now he's at 5. That's pretty bad, but in a couple of turns I imagine he'll be back to like 100. So Brandon, I'm gonna have you connect the power lines for 1 turn, because you should be relatively well off right now. Marvin's looking pretty good as well, so, you know, every little bit counts. You can dig. And let's request information about our doctor. Does she need a rest yet? Sarah, 67. Yeah, you could use a turn of resting. We gotta take some time to rest while we're waiting for our antidote to be ready, or like the analysis to be ready anyway, I think. So let's advance some time. Now this is only stage 1 of finding out the antidote. We have to do stage 2, which is actually sequencing it properly, but sedative's not done. That's very disappointing. Okay, how's Donald doing now? Request information. Debris and performance. Donald is at 45%, so we'll let him go for another turn. And I think we're pretty much good to just let everybody go for another turn here, so let's advance the clock. Donald, maybe I should have had him dig, but he can charge up the battery a lot instead, and that's fine with me. Oh, okay, that's bad. Research complete. Jack, let's give him a diagnosis. Chances of death, 22%. That's not really a great diagnosis. You're gonna dig, and actually you're gonna give me some information as well. I really don't like the position Jack's in right now. So Brandon, you're going to, we're going to request information, debris and performance. Dr. Zanace is actually still pretty good. So is Donald. So Donald's going to help us dig here. We're going to have a very nice dig group. And honestly, I think maybe Dr. Zanace, we actually do just have him rest here. Or if we have a sedative, can we inject that into Jack? Let me talk to Dr. Zanace and maybe he'll give me some information. Ask about sedatives. Doc, how can a sedative help us in this situation? The priority here is work. Sedatives might appear to work against us, but overworking is just as bad as not working at all. Resting is as crucial as any other task. Sedatives speed up recovery. Performance will hit rock bottom, but after an hour, they'll be refreshed and ready to work. Okay, so we'll just advance time then. Work for 30 minutes. Please tell me this compound is right and Jack's not gonna die. It's only 22%. You know, diagnosis, chance of death 22%. I almost feel like we just take another turn unless somebody's in a really terrible situation. No, not Donald. Brandon. There we go. I don't know why Donald just seems like a great robot name. Debris and performance. Alright, Sergeant Burden should probably rest. Sergeant Burden, rest up. Okay. I should have had our doctors working on something in advance. Maybe, like, if I put them both to work? We already have one extra sedative, so if I have you use computer to produce adrenaline, and I have you... well, I'm going to ask you about adrenaline first to see how that helps me. Adrenaline. Is it safe to use adrenaline to boost our performance? Considering the situation we're in, it's perfectly safe. Sometimes it may not be the wisest course of action. It'll boost performance by about 60 to 70%, but in an hour or two, stress will return. Performance will drop rapidly. You have to use it strategically. Got it. All right, well, we'll produce some adrenaline here. Should only take one turn with both doctors working at it at the same time. All right. And that's going to do it for this turn. Please don't die, Jack. I really need you to be alive so that I could analyze your blood and hopefully get a little bit closer to actually solving the cure to this disease. Hey! Jack's all right, then. All right, Dr. Zanace, you're going to stop working for now. Abandon project. And we're going to analyze Jack's blood. Okay. Give me a little needle there. Pop it into the machines. I would say this is going pretty well so far. We've still got way more than half our time left. Oh, so lambda's not correct. Beta and delta are. So we know for sure that it's gotta be use computer, research antidotes. It's gotta be, well, we don't even need to go risky, I'd say, but we will, because I don't know the difference. We'll go beta, delta, omega. And this is pretty much guaranteed what it's gotta be, BDO. Okay. Brandon, why don't you tell me what's going on here? How's the situation looking? Debris and performance. Marvin's probably got a rest. Donald and Brandon could use a rest. What's the debris like? I should really look at that every time instead of, but I want one piece of information. So we're down to, we've gone through about a third of it in roughly a quarter of our time. Not really a quarter, but you know what I mean. So I think we're on pace, basically, is what I'm getting at. I almost feel like we should just give Sergeant Burden a sedative, but we can't because there's nobody that's, like, everybody's busy. Yeah. So we'll wait until Sarah finishes with her research, and then we'll give him a... Or maybe we can work him to the bone on this turn and then give him a sedative on the next turn. That seems to make more sense. We might as well get all we can get out of this, right? Or maybe we sedate Donald again because he's so useful for helping us repair Brandon. Sure. Anyway, we're advancing time. This, I might be mistaken, but it seems a little bit easier to beat this mission than the other ones. It just seems a little time consuming. Jack, you don't need to rest anymore, by the way. You should be working. That was my mistake. So dig. Who's in the worst position here? Brandon, request information, debris and performance. So Donald's in the worst situation. Brandon's not much better. So I say Donald, we are going to inject you with a sedative. That way you'll be good to go and good to fix Brandon pretty soon. Excellent. Take a sleep there. Lucky you get all the sedatives. We're gonna have her use the computer to research this antidote as soon as possible. And we're gonna get one last bit of information from Brandon. Request information. Dig power. Sure, I mean, it's pretty good. Donald, 1.05 kilograms. Excuse me? I don't think that we injected him with the most heinously overpowered weight loss drug ever invented. I might be wrong, though. Lose 100 kilos overnight. You'll be dead. So Sergeant Burden and Marvin are pretty screwed. Let's take Marvin off of here. I really don't want the dog to die. He's not really helping that much anyway. And we might want to take Burden off as well, just so we don't have everybody resting at the same time. And I gave my sedative to Donald, so... Sure. Let's advance the clock here. Work for 30 minutes. Everybody's good? Everybody's good. So our antidote's going to be done pretty soon, and that's going to go to Jack. So Burden will take up Jack's spot at the wall here, basically. And I'm pretty sure that we're just taking one more turn to make this happen. Although we may want to use Brandon quickly to connect the power lines. He's going to get repaired soon by Donald anyway. So we might as well get the battery charged up as much as is humanly possible, and then advance the clock. Work for 30 minutes. And this has to be the proper, like, permutation. It might just not be in the right sequence. So Donald's feeling pretty good right now. Brandon, request information. Debris and performance. Donald's looking good. Brandon's not. Sergeant Burden could still rest a little bit. Jack's got one more turn of digging. I really almost want to test on Burden, because it should correspond to this period of rest anyway. What we may end up doing, I really should not test it on the doctor. But I don't know if testing it on the dog actually benefits us that much. I don't know, man. This is a tough decision. Jack's such a good worker, though. I don't want to test it on Burden, because if Burden dies, that's over. But the only person that it makes sense to test it on apart from that is really the dog or the doctor. I guess we'll deal with it as time presents itself. All right, repair Brandon, Donald. He seems busy right now. All right, well, maybe we'll have one. You'll dig for one turn, and then we'll have you repair Brandon. So let's advance the clock here. Work for 30 minutes. Starting to feel like we're up against the time a little bit here. Our antidote is going to be complete, though. All right. We've got to test it, unfortunately. Research is not complete. How is that even possible? All right. So, Brandon, you're going to stop connecting the power lines. Donald is going to repair you. We're going to test it on Jack again. He's just not very useful for us. And we can maybe have everybody go back and dig quickly. At least we could have Marvin go back and dig quickly. And we probably should have Dr. Zanace work on... yeah, stop working, and then abandon project, and then work on, like, a sedative. And then we'll have Sarah Gaynor rest a little bit. So produce sedative. We've used a lot of sedatives, but they help out. Cool. Next turn, I'd say. We're probably falling a little bit behind on the whole rock thing right now, I'd have to say. But we can always tactically use adrenaline when necessary. Okay, research is complete finally. Sorry, Jack. You're gonna get injected here with this one. Antidote BDO. Don't die, please, because, like, I really need to make sure that this is the proper one. Yeah, you're gonna be fine. Body's been through a lot lately, I guess. Alright, Burden. You're probably not necessarily ready to go to the wall right now, but digging needs to be done. Alright, and Sarah, you're just gonna rest until basically the antidote's ready to test. If we don't kill him, of course. Work for 30 minutes. Okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie. Alright. He's not convulsing yet. So on this turn, I think we have Donald maybe dig, and Brandon dig as well. But first we'll request information and see how everybody's doing. Debris and performance. Marvin and Sergeant Burden aren't in great situations, but a sedative's going to be ready pretty soon. Sarah's resting, so that's fine. And Brandon can afford to take a turn to dig. Alright, so this is where we want to be. Work for 30 minutes. Don't convulse. No convulsions from Jack. Those are not convulsions. That's good news. The sedative's complete. We'll probably inject that into Sergeant Burden. But we don't need to do it just yet. We can wait a turn, maybe. And let's ask Brandon how everybody's doing. Quest information. Debris and performance. Okay, we're about halfway through, almost halfway through the, yeah, almost halfway through the dig here. Burden and Marvin aren't great, but Marvin's very low priority for receiving sedatives and adrenaline. Donald, we can just have him rest, and then we can have Burden be a little bit more aggressive with the sedatives. Apologies for the Steam overlay, by the way. Let me check quickly. How's Dr. Zanace doing? Brandon, Request information. Dr. Zanace is 71. He could use a rest. For now. Alright, let's advance the clock here. Work for 30 minutes. It's only been a 12-hour day. You're trying to save the world. You're getting a little more tired faster than I'd like. Okay, I really don't like that. Jack, diagnosis. Chance of death, 22%. That's not so bad. I feel like we can still get one more turn out of Burden. So let's work for 30 minutes. Live? You can live, Jack. Yeah! My man. Okay. Shit, it got me. Alright. We've got to use the defibrillator on him. But first, we've got to analyze Jack's blood. So the other doctor can give him a diagnosis here. And this should be good, and we'll get to work on the next phase. Alright. First compound seems to work, but it's misplaced. Worked, but it's misplaced. Oh my god, so it's OBD. I'm actually mad at myself for not putting those in that proper order. Use computer. Research antidotes. Alright, so it's OBD. OBD. I say we go cautious on this one. Why go super risky? O, B, and D. Alright. So we know that's going to be proper. I should have done it in that order to begin with. Jack's going to dig. My apologies for being terribly stupid about that earlier. So he's got to be defibrillated. We don't have any defibrillator charges ready. Who charges the defibrillator? Donald? Charge defibrillator. Alright, I don't know what he's doing back there, but it's freaking me out a little bit. We probably also need Brandon to connect the power lines. And you know what? I'd actually stop working for a second. Abandon project. We'll start working on it again. But for now, we're going to have Sergeant Burton injected with a sedative. Yep. So I really don't like that we lost a doctor here, but shit happens, I guess. Alright. Now she's going to get to work. Use computer. Research antidote. I don't know if we have enough time anymore because I fucked it up. So it'll be O, B, D. I didn't realize the way that it worked prior, but now I do. Alright, so work for 30 minutes. I hope our doctor doesn't die. I hope he just stays paralyzed. That's maybe the cruelest sentence I've ever said, but it's well-intentioned. Okay. Doctor's an ace. Defibrillate. We don't have defibrillator charges ready. What the heck, man? Charge defibrillator. Get to work on it. People are getting beaten up here. Well, we're going to just advance time. It's going to take forever to get this antidote without a doctor working. Or without two doctors working. I think we have a charge now. Woof. Please don't die. Oh, he's got the virus too. Doctor's an ace. Defibrillate. Okay, here we go. Did it work? Ah, he seems alright now. No problems. Alright, Brandon. Request information. He's got a rest, I guess. Debris and performance. Marvin's in a bad place. Dr. Zanace is in a great place. Donald's in a terrible place. Brandon's kind of in a terrible place. Use computer. You gotta help with the research here, Doctor. Research the antidote. Things are starting to come undone here. How's Sergeant Burden? Request information. Debris and performance. Sergeant Burden, 89%. You can start digging again. Okay. Donald's gotta rest. I think it's okay for him to rest, and then he'll repair Brandon. I really don't care about defibrillating Marvin. I know that sounds terrible. I'm a terrible person, I guess. Clock, work for 30 minutes. Let's do this. Little frightened by the way we're passing the halfway point here. And the way it's taking forever. You feel pretty rested, Donald? Is that correct? Request information, debris, dig power. That's not what I meant to click on, but it's okay. Request information, debris and performance. Yeah, Donald's in a great position. How did that happen? I don't know. But we gotta fix Brandon up. So, Brandon, you rest. And you repair him. Okay. And we might need to inject some people with adrenaline, but for now, I think we just work for 30 minutes. We gotta get our doctors working a little faster. They're so slow now as a result of, well, the fact that they're very tired. In fact, okay, you stop repairing for a second. Just rest. Well, not even rest. You're gonna dig next, but request information, debris and performance. So Sarah and the doctor are not great, Brandon's not great either. Marvin's obviously in a terrible place. So I think we do spend one more turn repairing you. I don't know why the antidote's taking so long here. But we're going to work them to the bone, and then we're going to hit him with an antidote, or with adrenaline. So we're going to advance the clock a little bit more. This is looking like I might just run out of time here, which is unfortunate. That's a tragic way for this to end. But we might still have hope yet. So now, Donald, you're going to dig for sure. And Brandon, you're going to dig for sure. I suppose you could defibrillate and get Marvin out of this, but his digging power is so bad anyway, it doesn't seem to matter that much. It's going to take us so long to get this antidote done. What if I want you to stop working? Okay, abandon project. And then you're going to inject yourself with adrenaline. Because we got to get this cure done. So I'll get you up to 100%. Holy shit, let's party, he says. All right, use computer. Research antidote. All right, hopefully that speeds things up a little bit for next turn. Work for 30 minutes. We only got 12 and a half hours of life left here. That seemed to work a little bit better. He's going to get totally screwed in a little bit, but that's okay. He can rest. Brandon, how's everybody doing here? Request information. Debris and performance. Sarah's not looking so good. Sergeant Burden's not looking so good. Jack is holding out, though. He's going to get injected pretty soon. So let's have Sergeant Burden rest for a turn. So when the antidote's ready, he's good to go. And then we'll probably have Sarah injected with some more adrenaline. She's just getting super weak. Or we could just have her rest, I guess. But for now, work for 30 minutes. We're way more than halfway through here. So I'm starting to get a little concerned. Oh, shit, it got me. That's pretty bad. Can you charge the defibrillator? No. Okay, so we need our doctor, obviously, because this guy's gonna get screwed soon. Brandon, charge defibrillator. Donald, charge defibrillator. We can have both of them charging it at the same time. Then it'll probably get done faster. Burden, apparently you can dig just fine, so this is okay. And then we'll advance the clock a little bit, work for 30 minutes. OBD, this is the proper order. Research is complete. Please? Oh, it's not quite done yet. We've got one more turn. That's some bullshit right there. No, I want to click on Sarah here. Stop charging defibrillator. Brandon, rest. All right, Sarah, defibrillate. Come on, Donald, work your magic. She's fine. How is she from a rested perspective? Request information. Debris and performance. She's still pretty bad. I think you should connect the power lines for a little bit here, Brandon. But I'm going to ask you for some more information about how everybody's doing. Does Donald need rest, specifically? Yes. And Jack needs rest soon, but he'll have all the rest he can take in just a moment here. Okay, time left. Work for 30 minutes. We're down to 11 hours, which is basically like 2 more vaccines. But our research is complete. I feel pretty rested. Really? How do you get rested so quickly? I don't understand it. But you were at like 68%, and now you are at 100. Man, maybe it's that sedative from earlier. That's really helpful. If I have to do this mission again, I'm going to take a bunch of sedatives. So Jack's going to get injected, obviously. Injects with the cautious antidote. And this should be the proper situation here. Now, we could make some more stuff, but I think it's actually in our best interest to just have, like, both of our doctors rest for the duration here. Now, Donald's good to go from a dig standpoint, and Brandon's good to go from a dig standpoint. I'd really like to just get all the rocks out of the way, because once the rocks are out of the way, we can just have these people rest and run, like, 8 rounds of human testing at the same time, maybe. But we know for sure that a victory condition is getting the rocks out of here. And, what? I misclicked. Brandon. Debris, request information. Debris and performance. Okay, there's 1,000 left. That's like 4 turns, which is 2 hours. That's not so bad. Let's advance the clock here. If Jack dies here, we have a very serious problem on our hands, but I don't think he will. Okay, he's looking all right. Might want to take a turn to charge defibrillator, but I just want to get these rocks cleared out as soon as possible. I'm so sorry, Marvin, but you're not as important to me as these the human beings here. I'm sorry to say. I am sorry to say it. It'd be nice to have you, but once we get this antidote, buddy, we're going to cure you. Don't worry about it. For now, just enjoy never aging. Alright, so the resting seems to be going pretty well. Everybody's just going to keep working for now. Get our doctors well rested so they can actually perform. And we're pretty much just going to keep advancing the clock here. Alright, so we got 9 hours left as soon as the screen comes back. Jack's fine. Oh. What? Oh, no, not again. Analyze blood. Okay, so we've got to move on to phase 2 now. Alright, so it's going to suck the blood in there, and... Okay, correct. Yeah, this is the right one. Awesome, congratulations. Now what we need to do is find the compounds for the second structure. What? I thought this would save us. I'm sorry, Sergeant, the Medusa virus attacks the brain and the muscles. We just found a cure for the physical paralysis, but there's still the mental effect. That's why I came here in the first place. Yeah, great, listen, it's good to have you here, but please next time you scream Eureka, make sure this is the final one. Fair enough. Alright, so Jack can dig. I think we should have Brandon. Let's request information quickly. Debris and performance. Brandon's okay. So I'm gonna have Brandon connect the power lines. And I'm gonna have, no, I'm gonna have Donald and Brandon charge the defibrillator for a turn. Charge the defibrillator. Alright. Now, Sarah, I forgot what her situation's like. Not like marital status or anything, but like what's she like right now? 87. She's one of our more well-rested crew members. Good. Use computer. Research antidote. Now there's 4. Choose risk level. Risky. Select compound number 1. Now, I don't remember if we have to go like, you know, if it's O, B, D, L or something like that this time. Alright, so we'll try it anyway. This is what we want. Okay, it is. Work for 30 minutes. Defibrillate this doctor, because he's got to come back, obviously. We can give him our other adrenaline shot. Alright, so Dr. Zanace has to be defibrillated. We're really getting down to the wire here. Sarah's making good progress by herself, though. Alright, so he's fine. We're going to quickly inject him, because he's not in a good place, with another adrenaline. Alright, he's going to want to party. We're working against all odds here at this point, but if we can at least get this antidote done, it will help a lot. Use computer. Research antidote. Alright. I always think it says team fuck. It doesn't say team fuck, though. Alright, so Brandon, you need to connect the power lines for a while. And let's request some information about our debris and performance here. Only 500 kilos left. Donald's going to take a turn to rest. I think that's fair. Sergeant Burton, you can keep going. Jack, you can keep going. You'll be fine. Yeah, okay. Let's advance time. We really need our battery to stay afloat here. We're going to be done with our debris soon, so we can just have people rest. Maybe went a little bit too hard on the debris, but that's okay. We're going to have Donald dig for a turn, and Brandon's just going to keep going here. Because we need... At some point, we can get enough battery life left to keep us going for the rest of the game, you know what I mean? Because there's only 8 hours left. Then we can have him repaired, and we can use him as a digger, or just to get extra defibrillation charges or something. Okay. So, it's definitely going to be completed next turn. I almost think that we should just have Dr. Zanace, like, rest immediately. What's his situation like if we talk to Donald here, or Brandon, sorry. Dr. Zanace, 107. Oh, we gotta have him. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should have him use the computer quickly and make, maybe he could make some adrenaline to help us out in this, like, time of need. So Donald's working. Ruka, it's okay, buddy. It's just a long mission. So Brandon's gonna rest. Donald's going to repair him. And I think there's no question we'll be able to dig out all the rocks. The only question is whether we're able to get a cure here. So let's work for 30 minutes. Apologies for the long video, but Man, I do not want to have to redo this right now. Okay, so the research is going to be complete. And Jack's going to get injected here. So Jack injects. It's a risky virus. OBDL. And I think just in case, we had better put Sarah using the computer again to research, like, OBDA, I guess. So, OBDA. We can always cancel it midway through, but we have to, like, do as many possible permutations as we can, I feel, at least. I say we take one more turn of repairing Brandon. Again, we're not too worried about our rock situation here. It's going to get sorted out. Sergeant Burden does need some rest, admittedly, but it's okay for now. All right, so Dr. Zanace finished the adrenaline. We'll have Donald start digging. Brandon, what's your performance like here? Request information, debris and performance. There's only 378 kilos left. Brandon's looking pretty good, so I'm going to have Brandon dig for a turn. And all the rocks are going to be gone. We might even get a chance to defibrillate Marvin here. Sergeant Burden is not looking so hot, but I guess we'll have Sergeant Burden rest quickly. Now, Dr. Zanace basically can just eject this adrenaline further into himself, and he's not going to be in a great position, but, you know, that's fine. We'll have him research the antidote here for a little while and advance the clock. Ooh, this is a little nerve-wracking. Just a little bit, though. All right. I mean, Jack's looking all right. No convulsions yet. Brandon, how you looking here? Request information. Debris and performance. 305 kilos left. Really? Dr. Zanace, stop working. Abandon project. Inject adrenaline. Then start working again. This is your job now. You're just basically becoming a meth addict to help us find a cure for this disease. Use computer. The tension has never been higher. Research antidote. Okay, so that'll be done quickly. What else do we have to do here? We gotta keep digging. But pretty soon we're gonna have to take Brandon off to get the battery pumped up again. It's okay. 6 hours left. Maybe we'll get super lucky with our blood analysis. Jack is apparently not dead. Burden feels well rested. Go dig again. Brandon. Request information. Debris and performance. Brandon's looking okay. Donald not so much. I say we take one more turn. Let's check our diagnosis on Jack. He should wake up in about 30 minutes. Okay, this is a big moment for us. It's a huge moment for us. He woke up. Okay, that's great. Research complete? Yes. Okay. Well, first off, let's analyze Jack's blood and see if this was right. We're taking shots in the dark here at this point. Jack's been a loyal soldier for us, though. Okay. What do you got? Okay, O is correct. B is not. D is correct. L is correct. So what this means is that it has to be OADL, right? So the one we made was a waste. Let's try it. We got it. Okay. Research antidote. We're going to go for broke here. So it's going to be a cautious O A D L. Omega Alpha Delta Lambda. Now these guys are going to get pretty tired. Can they complete it? That's the real question, isn't it? Brandon, how you doing, man? Request information. Debris and performance. 127 kilos left. We're so close. Okay, Brandon, you're gonna be on connecting power lines duty. We're gonna bridge the gap here. Jack's gonna help dig. Hello, Ruka. Have you come to wish me luck in my time of need? We have no more adrenaline, I'm pretty sure. But he might be able to last long enough to help research the antidote here. Maybe. I think we might honestly be running out of time. But anyway, we gotta try. Let's work for 30 minutes. I really don't want to have to do this all over again. Oh, the research is going so slowly, though. There's no way we're going to complete that in time. Brandon, request information. Debris and performance. 39 kilos left. This is not going to complete in time, though, but we don't have any sedatives or anything, do we? Stop working. Abandon project. Inject. We only have we have an antidote, but it sucks. If I rest him, okay, Brandon, request information. Debris and performance. Dr. Zanace is good. Sarah's screwed. Like, we have 130% here. I feel like we kind of have to keep working them to the bone. Work for 30 minutes. Oh, shit. We're screwed, aren't we? I just didn't have quite enough sedatives. Oh, what's going on here? Finally, we cleared the exit. Okay. We just need to find the cure and we're good to go. Luckily, we're researching the cure at a rate of, 0.0 seconds per year. Charge the defibrillator. Why? Brandon, it doesn't really matter if we haven't charged the defibrillator. Maybe if we have both doctors rest for a turn. I know this sounds ridiculous. Or maybe if... Okay, keep working, keep working. Maybe if we have Dr. Zanace use the computer to produce an antidote, or sorry, adrenaline in 2 turns. This could work for us. Everyone else who just gotta, rest them, I guess. I'm pretty sure we're gonna lose this, though. Time is just running out. We have to finish the antidote by 2 hours, because it takes 2 hours for Jack to wake up. So probably 2.5 hours. Oh, the adrenaline's not gonna be done in time. Alright, at this point, you need to charge the defibrillator. Why can't Brandon help us with our research? That's what I want to know. Certainly, we could at least do some of that button pushing and let you do all the thinking. I'm pretty confident that we've reached a fail state here, though. So what I'll do in a future episode is get, almost all the way to the end, and then show you the end of this. We'll start again from, the halfway point or something like that. I just didn't rest people properly. Probably should have focused way more on actually producing sedatives and adrenaline, if I had to guess. Yeah, this is our final turn of, possibility here, I think, but I think we've messed it up. At least we can die, with our dog now having sentience again. Ah, he's relatively okay, it seems like. Work for 30 minutes. I can't believe after all that, we've come through with a loss here. In all likelihood. Alright. The adrenaline is complete. So you gotta pump that shit into yourself, maybe? Let's request information, Brandon. Debris and performance. Sarah's in a bad place. Dr. Zanace is in a worse place. So inject the adrenaline into yourself. And let's get this done. We're not going to get this done, but we tried at least. Should have gone for a more risky vaccine, which would have been finished in half an hour maybe, but it would have had a much greater chance of death anyway. Alright, so our doctor just sucks now. Oh, did I not even have him? I didn't even have him work on the antidote. It's just sloppy at this point. Yeah, that's my bad, but it wouldn't have worked anyway. I was really confident that we were going to have this happen. Maybe a little bit too much time spent digging, and not enough time spent, managing our doctors properly. That is unfortunate. Yep, and here comes the last bit of time here. At least we're going to be, well rested when we die. It's a shame because we know for sure this is the cure. We just can't push the buttons fast enough. Alright. That's it. Gods have been watching. You ran out of time. The infection became incurable. That hurts so badly. I tried! I promise you it hurts me more than it hurts you, but as always, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you enjoyed the episode and you're enjoying the series so far, your support does mean the world to me. Click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. I'll figure out a creative way to not have to go through an hour of this again and just repeat that 5 times. But yeah, we'll progress on the next one. I promise. Thanks for watching.